What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Anthem Lights podcast. My name is Caleb. That's Joey, Chad. We have a special guest today.
Very special.
Spencer Kane is in the house. What's up, Spence?
Dude, thanks for having me on this.
Glad to have you here.
So excited to be here.
We're going to be chatting with you today, asking you some questions about your crazy life.
Interview. Spencer, are you tall?
Nah.
I disagree. So actually, my first impression of you, when we were walking up, it was an airport, right?
Yeah.
We were picking you up from an airport to meet you, to see how it was going to go, whatever. And I just remember being like, that's not him. He's too tall.
I was with my buddy who's even taller
We got
than
close
me.
to my, that's not, that. Oh my gosh, that's him. He's so tall. It's like, this is never going to work because Joey and I are like a foot shorter than
So
you.
funny. My first impression of you was that you're too short, and your first impression of him is this isn't going to work. He's too tall.
Little did they know our cartoon would need the height differences later on.
It turns out it has not been a problem.
My first impression was his shoes. I remember thinking like, wow, those are cool shoes. I need to step up my game, and nothing's changed.
So you're from Indiana.
I am from Indiana.
You're a big Notre Dame fan.
Big Notre Dame
What happened
fan.
there?
How far off campus were you born?
Dude, a mile off campus. In South Bend. I was basically born on campus.
Wow. Dude.
South Bend Memorial.
That's awesome.
Shout out South Bend Memorial. Done a lot of good things for this world.
Birthing the greats one by one.
So we, obviously we were a band for several years before Spencer. When Alan left, you were on our radar. I had first heard about you because we did a cover contest. This was when covers were like an original idea, kind of. It was like a fresh thing. And RyanSeacrest.com had these weekly or monthly cover contests.
Was that on MTV?
It was on his website, I think.
Okay.
And so we were like, we entered one of them for a Taylor Swift song, and you had done one too. And it was like voted up by fans. And I remember like we were kind of like going back and forth, like the Caniacs and the light bulbs, like going jockeying for like best.
I was just like, why did I join you guys? I was doing great.
competing.
So that's why I knew about you, because it was like this kid's like doing the YouTube thing, cover thing. It's like same deal. And then you had worked with Chuck Butler, who is a writer
Probably
producer.
did the cover, yeah.
Yeah, he probably did. And so he, I guess, passed on your information. So why were you interested in joining Anthem Lights? What happened? Like, what was your first impression of us?
Oh, man.
How'd you hear about us? Did you know who we were when we hit you up? All those things.
Well, like you said, I'd been doing music and I'd been doing the YouTube thing, and not many people in the faith realm, or at least faith adjacent music, were doing the YouTube thing. That's, I think, what made y'all stand out so much, and inevitably how we found our own success through that industry. But so I had heard about you guys because of the covers. Like, no one was doing covers very much, and so I was trying to do that, the social media stuff. But I didn't really know your music. I didn't really know it. I hadn't really listened to any of the covers. I was friends with the George twins. They were in one of your videos, so I watched that. But I didn't really know much about you guys. I was just like, oh, it's just a group online doing the thing. I knew about Boyce Avenue, like in a couple of those other groups. When you messaged 2 days prior, I had been called to be told no by Simon Cowell and his team that I had not made a boy band, that I've flown out to LA to audition for. And it was a really awesome experience, but I had not even thought about being in a group until... Well, there was another boy band I was supposed to be. I had been trying out for a couple of groups.
Your destiny was to be in a boy band.
Yeah, I had Mitchell Soleric was starting, the guy that did Plus One. He was putting together another group, so I tried out with them. I made it, but we turned it down. And then I did the thing in LA, and I got turned down for that. And so I was like, all right, well, I guess it's truly just solo music. I'm gonna go to college and try to keep doing this thing on my own. And then 2 days later, you messaged me on Facebook, and I was talking to my dad about it, and I was just like, this is crazy. It gets me to Nashville. I have a lot of friends and family down there. I had been traveling there for a long time, so it just kind of made sense as the natural progression. I wanted to be in a music city anyway. And yeah, so my dad was very involved in my career at that time. So when we were hanging out and interacting, I know it was kind of like, can this 19-year-old kid hang by himself? Can he do it on his own with us in the group? And so
you were right at that breaking point.
Yeah.
Like, your dad was like, not ready to let you go. And we were like, is he ready to like let go of his dad? Like, it was like kind of right in that growing pain season.
Yeah. Well, in 6 years prior to you guys hitting me up, we had been chasing this music dream, and we didn't want to just like see ya on that, but you guys were so awesome and open to having those kinds of conversations, and it just worked. It was such a perfect fit. So I'm glad I said yes, and glad you guys said yes.
So are we, man.
Yeah.
Real quick, you just brushed over the fact that Simon Cowell
Dude,
Turned you down.
You know, if you're gonna get turned down by anyone, that's like the legend.
That's the legend to get turned
Like,
down.
you know, sadly, I never even got to meet him.
Wow.
Part of it all, but
That's
it
so
was like
like
his
him,
team
too.
doing the whole thing. Did get to
Did
meet
that band ever happen?
It did. It was called Citizen 4. And it never blew up, but it did happen. Apparently they
Put out a record?
They did a lot of
something?
covers. They did a couple covers and like one or two originals.
Gotcha.
They had a couple other like YouTube guys that were pretty popular, a part of it, and then it didn't end up happening anymore. I don't know what happened to it, but
What about the Christian one that you did that ever?
that was also a group, 3 for 3. What was so funny is there was another dude named Spencer in it, so we were both gonna be in the group. Spencer Lloyd.
I had some songs on hold for that group.
For 3 for 3. Yeah, well that was gonna be the group
So
I was
wrote
gonna be.
some
Are they
Sam
still a
Mizell.
group?
No,
Wow. Groups.
Yeah, I know.
I had a meeting with
Flies.
Mitchell Soleric, not to be in it, but
To-
about those
to
songs.
help it, yeah.
I was like, okay, sweet.
yeah, no. I mean, those were great songs. Did you end up were any of those EP songs of you? They ended up doing some good stuff. I mean, they were great singers and vocalists. They had a rapper in the group, so it was interesting. But never said no or never said yes to it.
Any other boy bands we should know about? I'm starting to get jealous.
Do you have one on the side there now? Or?
Of recent,
kind of sort of do.
not my doing, but it was 8 months of work towards this little group I was putting together. It didn't end up happening, but yeah, some of those songs will still get to come out, so I'm excited about that.
Sounds
They'll
like
be
you're just
on
trying
the
really
horizon.
hard to be in something other than Anthem Lights. Is what
You
it sounds
know,
like.
honestly, no, until that presented itself. Completely different genre of music, completely different feel. So that was the appeal, but no.
So
not for
Spence,
me.
what was your first impression? We all talked about how
Yeah.
tall you were and how scared we were of you when you first joined the band and how cool your shoes were. What did you think when you first met us?
Oh, dude, I didn't know. I didn't really know what to expect, what to think. I was so nervous. I was like, I hope they like me. I hope I'm like not weird, and I hope that they feel like I'm okay. But you guys were so relaxed, so chill. And I liked the energy that the tour, like the little show that we were doing. It was in Tampa.
Yeah, which we didn't actually do.
We didn't even do the
No,
show.
it got
It
canceled.
rained out, but then by the time showtime happened, it was like
That's right.
clear as day. So, but no, it was a wild experience. We like went downtown Tampa, and it was just like I was just thrusted into adulthood, kind of, because like I'm 19. I'm not even out of my parents' house yet. So
I think we got dinner at a Chili's.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't
This is
anything
crazy.
crazy.
Like you talked to the server yourself?
You don't get chocolate milk? That's crazy. No, but I remember in the van, I think Bostwick was with us too. So like that was like the drummer you guys were using at the time was a buddy of Joey's. So just seeing the camaraderie, seeing the friendship, seeing the like thing around it. And we had Justin Bieber had just put out Purpose, like literally like a month prior, maybe 2 months prior. So we were all just like talking about our favorite songs and favorite, parts of that record, and being able to just discuss the music thing like that with people who got it, who understood. Just felt very natural, fit, and I laughed really hard, and that was huge for me. I want to enjoy who I'm hanging out with, and so we were always cutting up, cracking jokes since the very first time we met each other. So it was
awesome.
very easy to go into.
Well, we love you. It's been a good run. Thanks.
Anyway, so this is me saying I'm out.
Who is better at basketball, you or Joey?
Man.
Hold on. Well, I think for this question,
I think we
should-
had your episode, right? Let's,
Yeah, I don't think this is about you.
well, just while he answers this question, I want us to imagine me being Spencer's height. Carry on.
If Joey is my height,
Still you?
I think he takes me.
It definitely out hustles everybody on the court.
He does. Joey was a hustler.
If I was
Joey
tall, I probably would be lazy, though. I wouldn't have to worry.
Exactly.
That's right.
Spencer and I have played dozens of one-on-one games. I don't think I've ever won one. Maybe once when he was playing with his left hand. Legitimately. We used to go to the gym to work out and then just play one-on-one basketball for like 2 hours.
Hey, but we would come out of that gym drenched in sweat because we would actually go and play. It's a good time.
That was really fun.
It's good cardio.
It is good cardio.
If I'm gonna lose to anyone, it's got to be Spencer.
Man, hey, and if you watched our cartoon show, the episode where Joey and I play basketball stemmed from these conversations. So basically shot for shot reenactment.
So who did you grow up listening to and loving? And I've already asked this question to those guys the last few episodes, but what's the first song you remember loving?
Man, only I think this is the song, and it's the only reason is because my parents made such a story out of it. But I was like 5, 6 years old, and my dad. Oh, okay, sorry. First song ever was Jesus Freak, DC Talk. My babysitter would put it on in the car, and I'd jam out with her. And then my dad was obviously a big DC Talk fan as well, so we were just listening to that record a lot. Sonic Flood, like those guys. But I remember the first song by myself without like someone else's influence. My dad got Toby Mac's first solo album. Was it Momentum?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a song on there called Extreme Days. And I
Extreme
loved that song.
That took me.
And so-
We'll live.
So good. And-
Was that the record with Irene?
Oh yeah,
It's so
Irene,
extreme.
and it had the visual album and had the DVD that came with it. So a couple like music videos, and he did the like futuristic bionic thing that was like a part of his branding. It was so cool to me. But I'd be in the back seat with my headphones on. My parents would be driving, and I'd just be bobbing my head, and then they'd hear me, and I couldn't pronounce the words right, so I'd go Desada stream days, and then they would always make fun of. I'd say Desada, like these. It's not even that's not even the words, but that's how I would scream it, and so they just. I just remember that being like the song I'd put on repeat.
Man, I totally
First
forgot
one.
about that song. That took me back. That's cool.
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
But Toby Mac was like childhood. My parents kept taking me to his shows and seeing him and his DJs backflip off the thing and like just running around on stage, hitting each other and performing and just going hard. It was like, oh, that's sick. I could see myself doing something like that someday.
You say hitting each other?
Oh yeah, they'd be on stage like jumping into each other and like mosh pitting on the stage while he's doing his thing. It's just cool energy, great show.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
You ever try and do a backflip because of that inspiration?
No. I was always so scared to hurt myself.
It's never too late, bro.
I think I'm all right. I've seen enough scorpions on the internet.
What?
Scorpions?
Where you land and your heels land over your head. They call it a scorpion ridiculousness. That's like the scorpion pose.
Ouch.
I did
You never
not
heard
know
that? Yeah. Before I joined Anthem, it's so funny. Like we don't really do a lot of shows as a group because we just aren't like on tours. That's not where we put our energy into it. We put on YouTube and social media driven content. And so if someone books us, it's like, come do this one event this weekend and we'll fly back. But before I joined the group, I was doing like 100, 200 shows a year. I was just doing schools and festivals and stuff like that. And in the school situation, we did a school run from Iowa to South Dakota, and it was like all in 1 week. And it was in the wintertime.
You mean Iowa to South Dakota?
Is that how it goes? Dude, I don't know. It's just, we did like a route. So I apologize for my geography knowledge. But we got into the van. We had a trailer that we were pulling behind the van, my grandma's Pontiac van in a U-Haul trailer. And we got hit with a snowstorm, and we were having to go like 5 miles an hour on the road, like off the side. And it was just like, we couldn't go anywhere. We finally got to the hotel, and at the hotel, there's this big hill down into the parking lot. You'd start up at the top of the hill, and the hotel was down below, and then you'd pull in. And we, when we were leaving the next morning, got stuck in the trailer, like jackknifed, and we were like on the icy thing, and I had backup dancers with me and everything, and we were like basically stuck at this hotel for the day until it heated up enough to melt the ice to be able to drive up the hill and get out of there. Dang. And so it was like some scary driving and stuff, but that trip, sorry, I got like a little bit more to that story. that trip, I was doing anti-bullying seminars at these schools, and ironically enough, the kids that were like the jocks of each school would like make fun of me mid seminar. Like I'd be up there doing my thing, and they'd be like talking and like cutting up and laughing and like doing their whole thing while I'm performing and trying to talk. And I got really frustrated by it one time. I was like 16 or 17 years old at this point. And I got really frustrated. So I stopped the whole seminar and I looked in the school and I said, who's the best basketball player in this entire school? And everybody pointed to one kid. And I was just like, if everyone's cool with it, I'd love to play you one-on-one after this whole seminar in the gym. And everyone in the school was like, oh, no way.
Was he one of the bullies?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was the one starting. Like he was in the middle of the group. All of his like teammates were around him, and they would just like talk to each other and laugh. And then I'd say something, they'd overreact, like just typical kid stuff, right? So I go to the gym and I'm like getting some shots up, and there's gym class in there. And before the like school was out, the principal calls over the intercom and called the entire school to the gym for him and I to play our one-on-one game. And I beat him 11-4 in front of his entire school.
Nice.
Yes.
And it was like so fulfilling. Like little childhood me was like, ha ha. But
see, I am cool.
Right. And then as I got to the next school, they had told that next school about it and like started this massive like rumor about me and some stuff that I just won't say on this, but pretty just jerk stuff to say. And so then that basketball team invited me to their like back practice after school, and I played with them too. And so it was like, it was an interesting scenario going and doing anti-bullying seminars at all these schools, but yet had to kind of prove my worth in that way. So.
Wow.
That's crazy, bro. I can't believe I've never heard that story. First of all, I have never been more jealous.
Dude,
I wish that I could live that story.
Kids in high school had the like state championship memories, and that's like mine. It's like, I ruined a bully's
That's so cool,
day.
bro. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
Like I could see that on Disney.
Sure.
That does sound like a movie plot.
Yeah.
And as someone from South Dakota, the snow part of that story totally resonates.
Oh yeah.
I've never beaten anyone at basketball, but I get the snow part. Yeah.
Have you been beaten at basketball?
I really related to the bully in that story.
That's crazy,
That's
dude.
awesome.
Yeah.
What are you excited about? You're married.
Yeah.
You like her?
She's pretty cool. She's pretty dope.
I think we gotta talk about Brooke a
Do
little
you like
bit.
her?
Yeah. No, Brooke and
She's
I.
also a good singer. You've done some music with her. Do you guys have any plans to do anything else?
Nothing planned right now. She did music with me growing up. That's how we met. I was online through our music stuff, and she had a pretty rough go with the music scene, and her experience in the industry has just been pretty hard, being a female and having a lot higher of a judgment threshold than some. And so she's enjoyed these few years not having to take it on as a main career path. She works at a radio station now, so she's doing the opposite. She gets to gatekeep a little bit and decide what gets played on her radio station, so she's enjoying that. But she loves singing. She's singing on a couple songs with Joey and his group, with Brooke and Brooks. And so she's enjoying that. She does stuff with Tommy Prophet, who's a popular producer in Sync and stuff, and NF is
In sync.
Yeah.
She's in
She's in sync, dude.
Wow.
So she's doing that. But between her and I, we've tried to work on music in the past and end up arguing or having some tension. So we've just kind of avoided it for the most part. But I think we're finding a healthy space where she could probably be involved in stuff in the future. But yeah, I got some music I'm working on, I'm excited about, and we're just enjoying being married.
Tell me a little bit more about the stuff that you're working on that you're excited about. Obviously, we got the Anthem Lights record that we're excited about, but you as Spencer Kane, what's coming up? Because I'm a fan of Spencer Kane music.
He's so sweet.
I really, really am. Your stuff is awesome, dude. So what's up? What's coming up?
Yeah, no. I've been working on a lot of music over the last year and a half. Like I mentioned, I had worked on a thing with a couple guys that ended up falling through. So that took a lot of time away from what I was working on. But those songs will get to come out in this new year, just in a different light, which is cool. Joey, you've produced a song for me that I'm going to end up finishing up and having that come out soon. And then, really just kind of making music with friends and trying to be in as many rooms and around as many people as I can be around. So that's the dream. It's the goal. And
if you don't know Spencer's music, it is by far the most
different
opposite of anything any of us do.
Sure. Yeah.
It's true. It's good, though. You guys should listen if you haven't listened.
Thanks, guys.
Shout out Spencer Kane.
Spencer Kane.
Nice.
I just feel right and say it's Spencer Kane and do it.
Spencer, we are glad that you joined our brotherhood. You moved in with us, my wife and I, when you first came to town.
Yes.
Some good times. You have a heart of gold.
Thanks,
We
man.
love the death out of you. Love you to death.
Appreciate
Wow, I
it.
like that. Love the death.
Love
out of
the
it.
Love the
death
death
out
out of you. That's
Kind of
better.
Graysons. No, I
creepy.
appreciate it. Thank you for having me be a
love
part
you,
of the
bro.
group.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
real.
Thanks for
Love you
letting me
guys.
interview you. You've been watching 60 Minutes.
We'd love to get you on an Anthem Lights track at some
Oh,
point.
dude, I'd love to be a part of it. Even if it's just writing. I just love to write some stuff for you guys.
Thank you, Spencer, for being my favorite band.
You heard it here first.
I love
on
all
tape.
my children
We're out.
equally.
Oh,
Children
Anyway,
equally.
thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see some more silliness from us, then check out this episode on YouTube. Hit us up on socials and be good to one another. It's hard out here. Love you guys. Well, I shouldn't wrap up anymore. I'm not very good at this.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.